Yeah, well, there was some figures about the games industries in Nordic. I'm actually one of the founding members of the Nordic Game Institute, and we have been collecting those figures since 2007 or something like that. But these are the latest figures from the Finnish games industry. So our turnover was 2013 around 900 million euros. So at the moment it seems that we are actually way bigger than Sweden. That's something we have been aiming for years and years. Just to correct. And when it comes to number of the employees or number of the employment, at the moment our estimate is that in the end of 2013 we were employing around 2,200 people, and 2014, I mean the end of the March, the number was around 2,400. We have made actually a very profound study about the games industry 2010-2011, and those figures about the females, number of females or percentage of females in the games industry were from that study. We haven't done this kind of profound study going through all the game companies since those days, and we don't actually have exact number what is the ratio at the moment. And it's very hard to kind of determine what's the number at the moment, because there is two different trends. One trend which is basically telling that there might be more females in the industry nowadays than there were in 2011, is that the companies as well been growing. If you think about companies like Rovio, well, in 2010 they were measly 100 employees or something like that. Now they are 850 employees. And they are not anymore a games company as such. They are doing so many other things. Actually, when we think about Rovio, around half of their people are doing something else than game development. So they are doing marketing, licensing, this kind of things. And it seems that every time when the games industry, game companies growing substantially, growing from 50 people up, the number of the females in that company, working in that company, increases. But on the other hand, there's another trend, and that is that after 2011 or 2011 and after that, we have had 125 startup companies. And usually in startup companies, they are male-dominated companies. They are usually established by males. They are usually established by group of friends, basically, either from the education or from recreational enthusiast side, and they are usually, let's say, 100% males, those startup companies. So in that sense, I can't tell you what is the number of the female employees in Finnish games industry at the moment. But what I can tell you, we actually made a study where we actually made a study for Uudenmaan Ely-keskus in I think it was in October or November last year. And we interviewed 50 companies, and we asked them how many people you are going to employ during next 12 months. And the result was that those 50 companies, which were around 1/4 of the total number of the companies, there were big ones and small ones, so it was quite a good guess. So they told us that they are going to employ 300 people during next 12 months. And if you think about the disciplines where they are going to employ those people, they told that around 30%, around 100 persons are programmers, around 7%, around 20 people, they are on the management side, around 12% are going to work in the marketing or PR or this kind of things. Around 22 persons, around 60 people working in the art and graphics, and around 12 people working in design, 35 people working in design, and around 17% of those going to be employed are going to work in other disciplines than these. So it means that it seems to be that games industry has been traditionally being lacking of the programmers. So the programmers have been the biggest kind of obstacle for the industry growth. But when we have been growing so fast, and companies have been growing also, so there is need for many other skills than the programming at the moment. And the second biggest need seems to be the graphics side. Well, and then there is this discussion or some explanations which I have found out why there is more males than females in the industry. One of them being that many people see the games industry very technical industry still. There is a lot of technical things in the games industry, I don't deny it. But when the industry is growing, and let's say when the industry is maturing, there is going to be so much more than just technical stuff to do. And when, as Arja said, around 20% on the technical education, only 20% of the people in the technical education are females. So it shows in the games industry quite well in that sense. Another reason which I think that is relevant is what I already mentioned before, that usually game companies are established by a group of friends or group of people who have been playing together and who have this hobby of playing or creating games. And usually those groups are male dominated. So it's one of the, I think that if you think about the history of the Finnish, go back all the way to the roots of the Finnish games industry. So all these companies established before 2000 were basically companies which were established by the group of friends. And in the future also, it was quite often the case that, for instance, if you think about companies, so-called second-run companies, so people who have been actually setting up one company before, maybe have made an exit one way or another, and they are setting up a new company. They are quite often still the same group of friends who set up the first company, and they are setting up a second company. So this is kind of history of the games industry, which might give one explanation. Yeah, well, as I said, most of the game companies are established by males. So if I think about Finnish games industry, there is actually two companies. I know all the Finnish game companies, more or less. And there is only two existing game companies which I can recall, which are established by females. One of them is Kajari Studios, Tina isn't here. Another of them is Oulu-based studio Alpakka Media, and then there is Tribe Studios, where Elina Arkonen is one of the founding members. But all the others are basically established by males. So what's the reason for that? I don't know. Do you? So, but if there is something to ask about the statistics, I'm your guy. I'm the numbers man. I'm the numbers man in the Nordic game industry also. So I have all the numbers.